What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Helene Brewery playing the front nine, and we're going to do a mixture of tee pads. We are going to be doing a space race, or the ace race, space race. We have the space race. Oh, what was this? This is called the range. This is basically, they market it kind of as their version of the Berg. It's not quite as deep on top, and it's a little bit shallower on the bottom as well. Feels pretty decent. It's supposed to be a straighter, maybe a slightly understable Berg. And then it also came with a Total Eclipse or Crave. This one's 169. Now, to have some type of competition for us, paired up against the Space Race, Crave and Range, we have a 166 Proton Crave and a Glow Berg. So we're gonna pair up both of these. A Helene front nine. Let's see if we possibly get any aces today. We're gonna start off pairing up the range versus the Berg on hole number one from the short to short. Throw a soft little forehand. We're gonna go Berg and then range. Okay. Maybe it's a little chilly out here. Oh, that's gorgeous. So straight, flips up perfectly. I'm interested to see if it's going to be more like a Watt flip up, or if it's going to be more like a proxy flip up. We're going to have to find out. Let's keep throwing. And we are going to kind of do a point system. So we got Space Race taking the first point. We got Space Race and Stock Stamp. We're at the long pad for hole two. It's only 258, but I want to spice it up a little bit, so we're going to throw the Craves. Oh boy. That's going to be really easy to beat. I mean, at least we kicked towards the fairway. So yeah, Stock Stamped takes the point here. Even, going on to two. Now this video should have happened quite a long time ago, based off of this being the 2024 Space Race. However, it was scheduled and then Helene happened, so it got postponed, and then it got postponed again. And then when it got postponed for the third time, they sent out an email said, if you no longer are able to compete for scheduling conflicts, you can just get your players back. So that's what I did. That's how I got the discs, because at this point, this video needs to get made. So hole number three, 190 feet. Berg is up first. Not bad, but a little bit of flip might get us to the basket. That was much better, because you have that hyzer that's going to push into the shot very similar to the way a glitch pushes. It's going to push into that shot before it dumps. So I would say this is more proxy flippy than Watt flippy. It's probably very controllable for the low amount of glide and the puddle top that it is just built into the mold. So that's why people are probably going to really love this disc. 218 basket is literally right there. A couple of trees in the way, so probably going to try to swing it wider so that I have some hang time to come back. Berg, one, range, or sorry, Space Race, versus stock stamp. Space Race is at 2. Yeah, it's not watt flippy. It doesn't want to, well, no matter how hard you throw it, it wants to just pop up to flat and ride straight. The Proxy has an amount that it flips up. This feels like if a Berg and a Proxy had a baby. Yeah, I threw that flatter and harder, and it's still on hyzer, so it's always gonna fade. The Berg's not a flip-up disc. It goes so slow that it doesn't necessarily want to glide different directions too much, so it goes pretty straight, but it's still slightly overstable. Hole 5, 285. Well, now we're going the ace run, so you're not going to see it if it happens, but we're trying to throw to the right, so 230. If I throw this hard and flat, will it turn or will it burn? Let's test. It turns, but it doesn't have the glide. It doesn't have that middle portion of its flight as much, so it doesn't have the tendency to push. So even though it's a little understable, even if it goes on anhyzer, it's probably not just turning and burning on you. It's going to be more controllable. Whereas this is more of a 0-1 or a 0-1. But that is a better shot for the hole. So stock stamp 2, Space Race at 3. It's closer than you might have thought. I'll leave the putters down there for a sec, because we're at the long pad for 6. Let's give the Craves a chance. One more time. A little bit of a headwind, downhill shot. Let's just push it on a hyzer and see if it stands up into the chains. Well, grip lock and a half, because guess what? I actually have really good grip on Proton, even in the cold. Okay, that was fun. I kind of have expected the Space Race Crave to not flip up all the way, and then it flipped up all the way, which is incredible. It also tells me that the new Eclipse it's now just kind of glow. It's not necessarily that super dumpy, beefy Eclipse that the Eclipse used to be, which means that it's a lot more user-friendly and it's going to be a lot better for the average disc golfer. Because I bought an Eclipse Crave that was basically a resistor. It barely had any flip up unless you were throwing into a headwind. And this Crave flies like a Crave, which is what you want. Hole number 7, we're going back to the putters, Space Race, and then stock. It is currently around 7, so 4-2. 4-2. You know what? Let's try the forehand at it again. That seemed like fun last time. That's a lot of fun. See how the Berg, it's a little more forehand friendly, which means it's not more user friendly. So the user friendly Berg is actually the range. That's great. But Space Race taking another point. That's stock stamp does not have enough holes to come back, because they could almost tie it back up. But that's why I play 9 holes, because then there's always a decider at the very end. Less than 200 feet should be easy for these discs. Let's see if we can make it easy because this is probably the last good chance to get an ace. Let's get an ace today, bro. Not like that. I thought it was kind of good, but no. Stock stamp takes point, but even if stock stamp takes hole number 9, it'll be 4-5. So space race wins out. But that says nothing about the two craves. It is entirely, I think I throw the Berg the worst out of that class. I throw the Rhino really good, and I'm throwing the space race pretty decent as well. Granted, it's like 23 degrees, but I just don't throw the Berg that well. It's a little bit, it's not quite overstable enough for me to crank on it. It's not quite understable enough for me to hyzer flip it. So it just doesn't fit my game personally. Hole 9, 203. I'm gonna have to throw the Berg on a forehand to try to get it up and around the corner. Then we're gonna try to get the range there on a backhand. But space race range is better than the Joseph Anderson Tour Series Berg. You can find me if you want, but I think a lot of people on the internet are gonna start to link more into the range than the Berg. The Berg, while it has that unique feel, for me it is just too deep on top. Whereas the depth of this little lip, very reminiscent to a Rhino or a Peg or any of those beaded discs. This one is just a little bit too deep for me to feel comfortable throwing. But we're gonna try to get comfortable, throw the shot up here. Maybe an ace, likelihood is no. Not quite where it's at for me. Let's see if we can get this to turn and hold it. Okay, so if you throw it on anhyzer, it's gonna hold the anhyzer. You throw it pretty flat, it's gonna fly pretty straight. You throw it on hyzer, and as long as you don't crunch it too hard, it'll flip up and then it'll fade. I think a lot of people are gonna love it. And at the time of this video being released, the Eagle McMahon Cosmic Neutron ranges will probably already be out. So if they are already out, and if you've had a chance to throw one, comment below what you thought about it. And if you threw the space race, comment below what you thought between the Cosmic Neutron or the space race. Hopefully you enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all that down below as well. Please make sure to subscribe. Helps you guys out with these subscriber only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And until next time, see you out on the course.